name is Bishop Gregory Lightner, and this is Pastor Karen Lightner, and we are the host of Is Love Enough? And today we're bringing back a fan favorite, Let's Ask Mama. But before we get into our show today, we'd like to say a little bit about WYTV7.
Yes, WYTV7 is a non-profit television station that sponsors shows just like ours that help educate, empower, and encourage our communities. Please consider donating by going to WYTV7.org and click the red button and donate now.
Click the red button and donate now. Mama, would you like to tell our listening audience a little bit about yourself? Not introduce yourself, because I already know you, but tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Overseer Francis Lightner Peacock, and I'm so excited to be here today to be a part of the show. My thing, I love community, I love people, and what I have done in my past, I have written many books, not to be published, but for my own personal use. I have a tall bin in my closet that's full of nothing but notebooks that I have written with notes that I have written. I also do marriage classes on marriage. Been doing this now for about 20 years. And I love doing that. Sometimes I even get to talk to teenagers, which I really love doing, because they're not going to their peers. They're actually coming to someone that's got some experience. And I really love that. I love being a part of the community of dealing with people on all levels. And I never make anybody feel less than.
Yes, that's right.
Awesome.
All right, so let's get right to it. Jump right in.
You just dive in the cup.
Oh my God. I'm trying to get something on that bottle.
He didn't like the way that was folded.
Apparently not. He threw that. I feel like my husband is getting a little aggressive. He has never hit me or did anything in that manner. Lately, when he is upset, his demeanor and the way he approaches me frightens me. I am afraid that it is going to turn physical. What do I do?
Right.
Feeling trapped.
Yes, I'm
Feeling
laughing,
trapped,
but I'm laughing at the comment because this is not funny. This is really
very
serious.
serious.
Yes.
I know what it's like to be terrified of someone being abusive or coming at you in an aggressive way. And it's very, very serious. And I would say when he's not being aggressive, have time to think to yourself and think what's going on with him. I was looking at something one day, some movie show I was looking at, and the guy had turned on his wife and had gotten very aggressive and all of that. I love watching movies. And it come to find out that he had been in a car accident, but they told him that he didn't have a concussion, so he felt like he was fine. But in all actuality, it was he did bump his head and he did have a problem. And this is what triggered the whatever it was that was going on, imbalancing him, that caused him to turn aggressive. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes it's dealing with a person's personality and something in their past, maybe something they are guilty of or something like that of that nature. But I would say, if he's becoming aggressive, and if there's a peace time in there where you can have a conversation with him to say something, and then if it still turns aggressive, as I would want to say as being a woman, run. And I don't mean literally run, I mean to get yourself to somewhere where it's safe. Because I have known this to start out as being verbal and abusive, aggressive, and the person hit the wall because they were so angry. But then there came a time when they didn't hit the wall, they hit the person.
Right. I would say if he is starting to show signs, if he has never been aggressive towards you at all, and now he's showing signs of being aggressive to you to the point where you are feeling trapped and threatened, it is time for you to seek outside help. And let your family know, let someone that's very close to you know that this is going on before it goes to the next level. I remember, so one of the things that we do in counseling is we watch the two people and how they interact, right? How they body language. So when something comes up and the husband gets very either loud or emotional, we oftentimes watch the wife. If that woman is flinching if she withdraws, if she goes into a shell, we can spot, okay, it's something deeper going on here than you guys just having arguments. Because I can, not that I do yell, but I can start yelling now and she ain't gonna switch it off. She's just sitting there like, what's wrong with you? But a woman that has been abused,
is different.
They're different. So I would say, like you said, it's time. If you're feeling trapped, it is time to run before something else happens.
Yes, and I want to say this, getting back to watching movies, and the lady did not call the police or told any of her family members what he was doing to her in the house. And eventually in the movie, he killed her. And everybody was shocked because he wasn't that kind of a person. Why did he do that? But he had been abusing her for years and she was silent and wouldn't tell anybody. But that happens in real life.
Yeah,
too.
it does happen in real life. I think because sometimes the person, the wife, the girlfriend, whoever feels it's to the point where they're so afraid to say anything. They're afraid to leave, so they stay in that mess and not tell anyone. So when something, God forbid, tragic happened, everyone's surprised, and it was like, but why she didn't say that? It's the fear.
It's the fear, and fear is a powerful, strong weapon. And fear can keep a person in. Fear can keep a person trapped, and fear can keep a person from speaking out. But you gotta be brave enough to break that cycle of fear to save your life and your children's life.
Amen.
It's a very serious thing.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay, on the long one. My wife and I work outside of the home and have 3 children. I normally get off early before, so I pick up the children, cook dinner, and start cleaning the house. The problem is my wife does not clean or do anything when she is home before she goes to work. She is normally home about 4 to 5 hours by herself and nothing gets done. I am really frustrated with the way she is behaving. How can I make her understand without this turning into a full-blown argument?
Wow. Okay, the way he's wording this, it sounds like she haven't been doing that all the time. It's the way it's worded. Right. Like she wasn't doing this in the beginning, but she's doing it now. And it's frustrating him because evidently he's not used to her acting that way.
Oh, go ahead. We're almost time for a break. But go ahead. What's your thought? We'll come back after the break.
Okay, let me hurry up. Okay. So what he needs to do to communicate with her, he has to communicate what happened. Why did you change? Why all of a sudden, you're not helping me? I'm taking the kids to school. I'm dropping them off. I'm cooking dinner. I'm cleaning the house. And you're here by yourself with the kids gone for 4 or 5 hours not doing anything.
Right. We're going to come right back after this break with Let's Ask Mama on Is Love Enough?
Calling all HBCU alumni, supporters, and golfers. It's that time of year again. Yes, the HBCU Swing Into Their Dreams Charity Golf Tournament on Tuesday, April 5th. If you missed the last one, you have time once again to be epic. Don't miss the golf tournament of the year. The Swing Into Their Dreams HBCU Charity Golf Tournament at the Atlanta National Golf Club in Milton, Georgia, Tuesday, April the 5th. Registration begins now. Sign up your golf teams at swingintotheirdreams.com. That's swingintotheirdreams.com or call 770-686-7148. That's 770-686-7148. Don't miss it.
Hi, and welcome back to Is Love Enough? And Let's Ask Mama. So before the break, we were talking about this question where the husband feels like the wife is home, they both work, she's not doing anything for the 3 to 4 hours while he's there, and you were answering that question. You want to go ahead?
Yes, I was saying that it sounds like the way he worded, like this just didn't started happening. That in the past she wasn't like that. So the thing is now he's gonna have to do some communicating with her about what's going on now. Well, why did things change? Why you not helping me? I'm working just like you working, and I come home and nothing is being done unless I do it. My suggestion is that they share the workload. That he talked to her about, let's split it up. Why don't you cook today? I'll cook tomorrow, or something like that. You cook for 2 days. I'll clean the house for a couple of days, and then you clean the house for a couple of days. But and then taking the kids. Maybe he's always the one that has taken the kids to school or whatever. So that can continue the way it is. But in those 4 or 5 hours that she's home, she needs to do something to contribute to the household as far as work is concerned. Because that's a lot on one person. And I know how we women are when we both work and we gotta come home and take care of the kids and cook, wash clothes and do all that. And the man sitting back looking at TV, and it will make you get a little attitude. So that worked both ways. So I think she need to be a little more conscious about what she's doing.
And then she, like 4 to 5 hours, then she probably
That's
a long time. She probably got comfortable with, with him coming in, doing everything, and without him voicing it to her, look how he's really feeling about this. Sometimes that continues on, and sometimes she got relaxed. So she figured, it don't need for me to do that, because my husband come in, he gonna do it anyway. So I think some kind of communication, you have to voice it to her.
Right. Yeah. He needs to voice it. He needs to speak up and say that, okay, you're home 4 or 5 hours. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Sometimes let's play double advocate for her. Maybe she has gotten relaxed and feels like, well, he's doing it. He's happy doing it. So he's going to have to say to her point blank, this is not working for me. This is what I need you to do. I need you, if it's wash day and you home, I need you at least put the clothes out the washing machine into the dryer. Or, hey, I need you to take the kids or pick the kids up once or twice. So however they need to work that out, they need to sit down and work that out. So the load is being distributed evenly. So he's not feeling like he's overworked and she's not doing anything.
Exactly.
And it will make you get a little bit of an attitude and get defensive.
Yes, it will. Okay. My wife and I both have great jobs and make a very good income. We live in a nice house. We drive very nice cars and wear the best clothing. But we are on 2 completely different pages when it comes to saving and spending. I constantly argue over savings and our future because our saving is little to none in spite of our income.
Wow.
Yes, I feel like I wish they were right here in front of me, because I have a lot of questions I would like to ask them. But one of my questions would be, how was it in the beginning of your marriage? In the beginning of your marriage, were you guys struggling? Did you have a hard time, as the old folks said, making ends meet? Was there some times when you were barely scraping pennies together to buy food for the house? How was it in the beginning? And then, husband, you can always go back and look at your wife's upbringing. How was her upbringing? Was she in a family that was struggling? Because everybody's not middle class. There were some families that was struggling. And they had a hard time buying groceries, paying rent, buying clothes, etc. They had a hard time. So he needs to go back and try to figure out what is there about savings that she's not interested in. She's more interested in her house and her car, and especially her nice clothes. I know how we women are. We love our nice clothes. So she's focusing on that, and he wants her to shift her focus and think about savings. And one thing he can do is tell her, because everybody's watching the news, I'm assuming, and everybody know what today's economy is like. So this is a way he can bring this in about saving. Look, honey, you see what the economy is now? After COVID came and struck, a lot of people with secure businesses and jobs, it's all gone, and they had to start from scratch with almost nothing. If we have a nest egg, if we have something to go back and lean on in case something happened, it's just like having car insurance. With car insurance, you get the insurance just in case something happens. You are covered. Same thing with your savings and your nest egg. You got it just in case something happens. And if you don't need it, great, you got it for retirement.
Right. I would definitely say sit down and talk with her about savings. A lot of times men are more thinking about our savings, what's going to happen when we retire. Like you said, maybe they did struggle in the beginning. Maybe she did come from a background where she didn't have a lot.
Right.
And now she's at the point where she can afford that Michael Kors or that Louis Vuitton or those red bottom shoes. And now because she can't afford it, she wants it because she was deprived of it all the time. I know for me, I like to buy watches. That's my device, right? I like watches. So some of them are expensive, but I can afford it now, so I buy it. But I am always thinking about my future as well, because I know when I retire, our income is going to be different. So when our income is different when we retire, we don't want to go back to the place where we can't afford anything, right? So you gotta plan for your future.
Yes, you definitely have to plan for your future. So I'm trying to understand the question. Is he saving as well, or?
I think he's saying they have no savings. He says
so
maybe
their
savings is little to none.
So maybe if he initiate and he starts saving, putting in, and probably say, okay, honey, I'm gonna start off saving this amount of money. Then he said, whatever you can to save. Maybe he need to start it first, and maybe she'll follow suit.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
I would say to that couple, because it sounds like they share their accounts. That's but I would say to him that if he's gonna do that, start a separate account. So they're gonna start arguments like, I know I had $3,000 saved here, now it's gone. So that could start an argument very easily. All right, let's dig in.
Okay. I am a stay-at-home mom taking classes with 5 small children.
Jesus.
I love my husband, but I don't have time for myself. It seems like we are always arguing over small things. It is like I am losing my best friend. I just want my friend back. Help me, please.
My God. I'm still blown away by the 5 small children.
She needs help.
She need help with 5 children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my thing, number 1.
Jesus.
We had 5. Oh, go ahead, Mom.
Yeah, you had 5.
Yeah,
You
that's
did.
right. Go ahead, Mom.
My thing, you start out again with communication.
Let Mama talk. Go ahead, Mama.
This should be something. First thing is communication. The second thing is, when my kids were growing up, they would tell you, if they talk to anyone, schedule.
Yes.
Yes. You need a schedule, because if those 5 little jokers are running around all day full of energy, you won't have no rest. You won't have no peace. You won't have no time to yourself. And then when your husband come home and you're picking arguments about little stuff that's not even important, that's because you're both tired and exhausted. You have no time to be together. You want your best friend back, then you have to make time to spend with your best friend. You have to make time for him. Y'all have to make time for each other. With 5 children, you got to have them on a schedule. A schedule is a must.
Yes.
There needs to be a nap time, and there needs to be a quiet time.
Yes.
You need that. And in that nap time, that's time. And schedule your schoolwork. If you're working, you're going to school from home, okay, schedule your schoolwork around your kids' nap time. So when nap time comes, you can sit back and relax. You can rejuvenate your body. So by the time your mate comes home from work, you're rejuvenated and you're ready to start. And the least little thing, let's say for instance, he left his shoes at the door, or he left his raincoat at the door and it's dripping water. You upset because why didn't you shake it off before you came in the house? Why did you put it there? Now there's water all over the floor. Little thing. Okay, why didn't you put your clothes in the hamper? The hamper is right there. Why didn't you put your clothes in the hamper? Little things. That's not that important.
Right.
It's not life or death situation. So you need to reevaluate that. Put them babies on a schedule. Put your schoolwork, if you're doing online classes, put your schoolwork on a schedule. Be consistent. Give them a consistent nap time. Give them a consistent quiet time. And you will find yourself with more time for your mate.
Right. So I would definitely say that is key. So I don't know how this happened, but it happened. In the summertime, well, I was working school system, still working school system. So in summers, I'm off. But I don't know how this happened. That in the summer, I got all the kids, like all the kids were here. I don't know how I got bamboozled into keeping on them cheering in the summer. It was supposed to be my time. But they will tell you, I had all them jokers on the schedule.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you gonna eat now, y'all gonna watch TV now, and y'all go. John, you wanna take a nap? Everybody taking a nap. You gonna sleep for 2 hours, and then that was my time, right? And I say that because you have to schedule it out. And so the husband is probably frustrated because they got 5 babies, so they evidently had some time for themselves.
Yeah.
And she says my best friend.
Right.
So they had to have a very close relationship. Yes. So I'm quite sure he's frustrated in the fact that now she's consumed with schoolwork and kids. So that's probably causing little nitpicky arguments too, right? So, well, why you ain't do this? Why is this done? Why are you doing that? So they're probably nitpicking at each other because both of them are frustrated and they're nitpicking about small stuff that doesn't matter. And if he can sit down with her and help her plan out a schedule. Doesn't have to be all on her. No. Go ahead, babe. Come on. Let's sit down. Let's look at next week. How much school you got next week. And this is something that I tell husbands because wives do this all the time. My wife did it for me. Wives help their mates out with schoolwork. So husbands need to step up to the plate. And if the wife is going to school, do the same thing, which helping her with something. So then that relieves some of the time.
Yeah, because that just like, we had our babies growing up. We got 5 kids as well. So what I had to end up doing to maintain some sanity, I had to get them on a routine. They had to be on a routine because I found myself not having time for me and then neglecting you as well. So I came up with a schedule, time, and a routine. So when it's bedtime, they know what time it was. So that's time for us. So you have to have schedule, and you have to.
I'm laughing because when our kids get together, they talk about the schedule. Y'all remember when Mama had us doing this, and we had to do 3 hours of this, and we had to do an hour.
I bet my kids, they made the honor roll though.
They sure did.
Okay. My husband makes me feel like my body is ugly. I do not think he desires me anymore. What can I do to put the spark back in our relationship?
First, I want to address the issue of her and her body. And what I want to say is sometimes we subconsciously stand in the mirror and voice our imperfections out loud, and our mate is right there hearing it. My stomach, look at my stomach, it's all ugly. And it's like that. A lot of women don't get back smooth stomachs after they have kids. So your stomach might be a little wrinkly and got little marks and stuff on it. That's okay. And then you look at your face, well, my cheeks are too fat and my arms are this and my legs are that. Oh, look at my buttocks. It's not firm anymore. Just picking out all your imperfections that your husband probably ain't even thought about or looked at until you brought it out and he noticed it. So my first thing would be, how do you feel about your body? How do you voice out loud how you feel about your body? But my thing is, I was up to 300 and some pounds when my husband passed. And he always told me, I don't care how much you weigh, I'm going to love you regardless. Well, at that moment, it wasn't the right thing to say because it made me cry. But I understood afterwards that it wasn't about my size. He loved me for me, my personality, who I was, what I brought to the table. He loved me for me. So I'm telling you, lady, if you get yourself together, put on you some makeup, fix your hair. When you know it's time for him to come home, like at 5 o'clock, 4:30, you start to get yourself together so you'll be sexy when he come through that door. Girl, let me tell you, men are visual creatures. And when he come through that door, you welcome him in the house with a hug and a kiss on them lips and tell him you are glad he home and you missed him during the day. That's going to pick his spirit up and send his ego through the roof. He ain't going to worry about your imperfections. Sometimes women pick out their own imperfections and pass them on to their mate.
Stop talking about me.
Right. Right. And so we counsel a lot, and that's one of the issues that we run into sometimes is the woman will say, well, he doesn't want me anymore. And then when we start digging into that issue, we find out, no, it's not that he doesn't want her anymore, is that she has withdrawn so much because she thinks she's ugly, or she thinks she's undesirable, or she thinks she's a turnoff. So she has withdrawn so much that she's not even giving him a chance.
Right.
And so when we start talking and digging into it, he's like, I think she's the most beautiful thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And he don't see that. And a lot of men don't see that. So I want to say that to women who think that way, a lot of men don't see you the way you are seeing yourself. Most husbands, not all, but most husbands do not see their wives the way you are seeing yourself. Because there are some selfish men.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, there are some selfish men, and there are some shallow men. So I'm saying the majority of them that are not selfish, that love their wives, they ain't seeing that.
Yeah.
When they see that girl walk across the room, they still seeing the 20-year-old that they married. That's what they see.
So when I dissect myself in the mirror, I'm talking about my stomach and all that, you don't see that?
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope. And then what happens though, to some men too, a woman can point it out so much until it gets in his head. And then he's like, well, yeah, that is a little pudgy there. Maybe we can, because every time you look at so I would say to her, let's analyze the situation. Let's see, is it really him or is it her?
Okay.
One more?
Okay. Since my girls have grown up, I feel like the third wheel. I love my wife and daughter's relationship, but I feel I am completely left out. She loves spending time with them and always turn me down. How can I get to spend more time with me, feeling rejected?
I caught that part where he said, she always turned him down. Well, I'm thinking about myself when my girls grew up and the relationship that I had with them. It was on another level relationship. It's no longer that little girl relationship. It was, bigger and, it changed. It was different. 2 minutes. Jesus, help me, Lord. Okay.
Well, we will hold that question to the next Let's Ask Mama. We would like to encourage all our viewers that are watching, if you are having a marital issue and you would like to send a question in to Let's Ask Mama, they can do it where?
Yes, they can. If you'd like to be a guest or you have any questions for Mama, you can email us at gtlm.isloveenough@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 509-0178.
We would like to thank WYTV7 again for hosting Is Love Enough? And Let's Ask Mama.